A big reason we play Pokemon is for the battles and utilizing all the moves the franchise keeps giving us. Whether you're a youngling or a veteran of the series, nearly all the moves have their usage, even if super specific when playing for fun or competition. However, with over 700 moves out there are a few clunkers, so I'm going to find the least useful moves based on the overall effect and power of the move, along with any other special conditions it may have, and if the move is outclassed by another move available roughly around the same time in the game. So for example, if you have a move a Pokemon learns at a low level, like Thundershock, it's clearly meant for early game usage before being outclassed by moves like Thunderbolt. You got all that written down? Well, I hope so, because it's time to uncover the top 10 most useless Pokemon moves. Number 10. Water Sport. I never found a use for this move or its friend Mud Sport. I've only ever seen the AI use it. It decreases firepower on the field initially by 50% and then by 66.6 repeating percent from Gen 5 onwards. Inherently it's good, but nearly all the Pokemon that learn it, outside the Surskit line and Bidoof, are already resistant to water. While having a Pokemon set up Water Sport that is resistant to fire does make sense, why not use that other move that reduces fire damage, Rain Dance? Water Sport seems like Rain Dance without the boost in water attacks or benefit to certain abilities based on the rain weather effect. It's also worth noting Water Sport users can learn Rain Dance via TM. Perhaps Water Sport makes sense if you want to avoid giving your opponent the benefit of the rain, but if you truly fear that boost, is it really worth it to spend a turn just to reduce fire attacks? We have moves like Reflect and Light Screen that can defend from more types, so why not option for that? Maybe I'm missing something here, but to me, Water Sport is something I could never incorporate into battle. Number 9. Detect. Hey, you know that super useful Protect move that prevents an attack from hitting the user? Imagine if it was Fighting type, only could be learned via level up by select Pokemon, and had half as many PP. That's Detect! While it could be taught via TM in Gen 2 only, Protect has been and seemingly always will be available via TM. It can also basically be learned by any Pokemon, unlike Detect. But hey, Detect looks pretty cool in the anime, so it has that going for it. Number 8. Egg Bomb. This is a normal type physical move that deals 100 damage but with only 75% accuracy. Have you ever tried using a move with 75% accuracy? Well, of course you have. But what if you were promised a rad-looking egg that's actually an explosive, yet got a normal egg instead that had a harmless fluffy chick that hatches on impact unharmed inside? That's effectively Egg Bomb, but obviously not because it has low base power. Egg Bomb is an exclusive move that only Chansey, Blissey, and the Execute line can learn. Good old Chansey with her massive attack stat. Execute and Executor are more special attackers as well, so with Egg Bomb being physical, only the Alolan Executor can really take advantage of this move's power, but that would be stretching it since Egg Bomb would likely not be one of your top move choices for him. In Gen 1 it was a TM, so you could teach it to... oh, no one knew. Also Mew, but Mew can learn everything so that hardly counts. Egg Bomb would have benefited from a type and damage category change to fit its exclusive users, or just give it more users. Maybe give it to a chicken Pokemon. It's a shame we don't have a reason to see this attack more often since the concept of an egg turning into a grenade is pretty creative. Number 7. Cut. HMs are horrible and we're all glad that Gen 7 did away with them. We can all agree on that. And I don't mean the actual moves, since some of them are incredibly useful in battle, like Surf, Waterfall, and Defog. Rather, I mean them taking up a move slot on just doing those mundane tasks for the first 6 generations. We could not even erase them the normal way. We had to go to a special move deleter to remove the HMs from our Pokemon's move list. It's like if you get lice, you can't just kill them with a normal shampoo, you have to buy a special shampoo. I waffled between putting Cut or Flash for the former HM spot on this list, but I ultimately decided on Cut, since as of Gen 7, it has no other uses outside of being a mediocre move Kartana can learn. Flash could at least keep away wild Pokemon after it was demoted from HM. Cut just kept getting nerfed. The ability to cut grass with Cut was taken away after Gen 3, and now the move has basically been reduced to dead weight if it's on your older Pokemon that you choose to transfer over from previous generations. The Alola region turned Cut into an endangered attack by ripping away HMs. But hey, stop me if you've heard this one before, at least Cut looked cool in the anime. Number 6. Poison Powder. You ever notice of the 3 main status powders and the status moves that only poison the opponent? Poison Powder gets the short end of the stick in every comparison. It simply poisons the foe, doing the same 1/8 damage every turn. Unlike Stun Spore and Sleep Powder, the move that outclasses Poison Powder is infinitely better: Toxic. At least with Stun Spore being a lesser version of Thunder Wave and Sleep Powder being a lesser version of Spore, you could make the excuse that Thunder Wave and Spore cannot be learned by each Pokemon that can learn the status powders. You know which Pokemon can learn Toxic? All of them. Any Pokemon that can learn Poison Powder can learn Toxic instead via TM, which has better accuracy and badly poisons the opponent for increased poison damage over time. Even Poison Gas outdoes Poison Powder since it can poison both opponents in double battles. It's one advantage over Toxic. Unfortunately, Poison Powder is just that poison move that bugs and plants learn with the other 2 powders. I don't even think Poison Powder can pull the hipster card in this case and say it came first, since Koga states Toxic is over 400 years old when he gives you the TM in Gen 1. Was Poison Powder even around in the feudal era?
Meanwhile, in the feudal era, you're paying me for this cameo.
Poison powder! Poison powder! Poison powder!
Huh, well I guess Poison Powder does win in one category. Number 5. Splash. You might have expected this to be number 1, but it's right where it needs to be on this list. It's worth noting that Gen 7 allowed you to upgrade this move to Z-Splash with Normalium Z, which raises attack 3 stages, but for this list, Z moves are separate from their vanilla counterpart. Splash alone is clearly useless as an attack, since it takes up a move slot and wastes your turn flopping about. If you want to be cruel enough, you can even breed this move into a Pokemon's moveset. However, on every other level, this move succeeds. Splash was meant to teach us patience, being exclusive to Magikarp in Gen 1. We may have bought a Magikarp from that scam artist outside of Mount Moon, giving us a useless fish with a damage-free attack. But if we looked beyond the one useless move and used alternative training methods to train up this weak fish, we were rewarded with a powerful beast. Beyond that, Splash is meant to be a joke move. It's supposed to be terrible. Complaining about it would be like griping that Dan from Street Fighter is low tier. I mean, yeah, it's true, but that's the point. Number 4. Constrict. This attack has the weakest base power of any attack that deals direct damage. I think that explains itself. But wait, there's more, barely. It has a 10% chance of lowering the opponent's speed. Yay! So unless you really like this attack or it's your only offensive attack, the minuscule chance of the speed reduction is obviously not worth it. This attack is essentially a hug where the hugger squeezes the huggy mildly harder than he should. Or it's like rap if the user started the attack and was like, whoa, you want me to hold on to this guy for 2 to 5 turns? I'm not doing that. The damage I dealt already will suffice. Number 3. Imprison. The first time I used this attack, it worked and I assumed it was just a different version of Disable. I was wrong and could never get it to work again, even though I could have easily looked at the move description of prevents foes from using moves known by the user, which still sounds pretty vague. And once I learned that, I never used it again. This move is incredibly situational. In the world of Pokemon, a battle can break out at any time, so using a move slot on this means you're banking on the random opposing Pokemon to have one out of the other 3 moves on your moveset, meaning the odds are 3 out of indefinite number of moves. In the hypothetical of battling against a rival you know, if you're trying to prevent a certain move, like one for status or setup along the lines of Stealth Rock, wouldn't it be better to use a move like Taunt that can affect their whole team rather than one Pokemon? And if it's a damaging move you're trying to stop, don't use Imprison, just please find another way. Number 2, Frustration. Okay, just for a second, ignore the potential power this move has and its utility in battle. Just focus on the criteria you need to meet to make this attack good. This move is stronger the more your Pokemon hates you. Isn't that the complete opposite of a core concept of Pokemon? The series is always like, till the end I will be with you, we will go where our dreams come true, all the times we have been through, you will always be my best friends. Were all of those Pikachu's jukeboxes just lies? Was there an asterisk added to the DVD version saying, unless you run a frustration team? This attack disregards the lessons the singer of the original Pokemon theme song was trying to convey to us. You teach me and I teach you. What am I teaching with frustration? Neglect? Abandonment? We have all these Pokeballs that boost friendship, like the Luxury Ball and the plainly named Friend Ball, but where's the ball for the Frustration Trainer? I'd expect it to look like the Chokey on the inside. Jokes aside, even if you wanted to legitimately use this move, it's basically a lost cause since keeping max friendship for its counterpart move return is significantly easier than keeping friendship at 0, unless you stock up on lots of energy roots. Number 1. I know why it exists, but that doesn't make it any better. It's Flatter. You know how there are those moves that raise or lower attack or defense, and they have their counterpart moves that do the same to special attack or defense. Like for every Swords Dance, there's Nasty Plot. For Bulk Up, there's Calm Mind. But you know one move that boosts physical attack that did not need a special counterpart? Swagger. Swagger's a tactical risk-reward move that confuses your opponent and raises their attack by 2 stages. The point of raising the attack is because the damage from confusion is based on the confused Pokemon's physical attack. Therefore, raising the attack stat will work in your favor when the confused Pokemon hits itself. Special attack never comes into play, regardless of the confused Pokemon's moves or stats. Which brings up the question, why would you want to raise your foe's special attack stat when confusing it? Flatter will confuse the opponent and raise their special attack stat by 2 stages rather than their attack. Why would you use this? You're basically giving your adversary a gift. It's like you're saying, sorry confusion is such a pain in the ass, here's a stat boost for when you recover. This move is especially useless when you consider Swagger as a TM that can be taught to the Pokemon that naturally learn Flatter. Swagger does have mildly lower accuracy than Flatter, so if you want to have a 100% confusion move to use against a physical attacker, I guess there's a use. But at that point, why not just choose a Pokemon with Confuse Ray if you like the accuracy to use on any Pokemon? I guess if you're in a double battle, set up Safeguard on one of your Pokemon that's a special attacker, then use Flatter on that Pokemon. You know, if it takes this many steps to find a defense for Flatter, I think that supports why I put it at number 1. So Flatter, I'd say it's the Bizarro version of Swagger, but that would mean it would also have to cure confusion if I wanted to be fully accurate to Superman lore for that comparison. So I'll just say it's a move we can live without. Now, what did you think of these choices? Was I on the mark, or did I miss out on a few uses in what I called impractical? Did I not discuss moves that belong on the figurative wall of shame? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.